All right, Madison, we're going to take a look at your paper, Mla Citation first. So this looks good, except it's not the same font as the rest. All of this is correct. This is just the topic of the essay, so it's not a very creative title, so we'd want to work on that. So you start off with a question, which a couple of things wrong with this. Number one, don't use the word you. You can't use you in your paper. Remember, it's third person point of view. Number two, I'm assuming that you got this information from another source, but you don't tell me where you got these two numbers from. So that is something that we need to work on. Now your question is, do you know that 3.6 million of U.S. adults age 18 to 54 have this? But that's 5.2 million people during the course of a given year. Does that mean there's another, 1.76 people that are not 18 to 54? I'm not exactly sure what that other number is, but regardless, you don't have a source for it. As soon as you bring up the disease, right after that, in parentheses, write PTSD so that I know every time you use it, that's what it stands for. All right, so you get down and talk a little bit about what PTSD. You talk about symptoms. And remember, now that you're starting to cite, which is what you need to do, remember the period goes on the outside of the parentheses. At the end of the parentheses. So this gets moved down to here, so on and so forth. But you haven't actually, and you don't actually mention Macbeth until right here, which is nearly the end of your introduction. You have to mention earlier that it's a health condition triggered by a terrifying event. This is a wrong use of semicolon, by the way. And then you would want to talk about Macbeth, and the play Macbeth by William Shakespeare also suffers from a terrifying event, so on and so forth. That's introducing your topic, which gets us into that he has it. Then you can talk about the main points that you're going to talk about, and then you can go on and use your thesis statement here at the end, which for you is this sentence right here. And basically all you're doing is saying that he has these behavior changes, an elusive vision. Macbeth's severe behavior changes and elusive vision show the development and devastation of post-traumatic stress disorder. So I don't know if you really got to the heart of a thesis statement yet. Just that he does these things that makes him have PTSD, which I think has got to be more specific to his downfall. So you'd want to look at that to fix in the introduction. All right, this is the kind of topic sentence that I want you to improve on. Remember, once you have a really strong thesis, this is going to be like a mini thesis. So you're going to explain how this symptom directly relates to the thesis. So you want to go back through and really work on having stronger topic sentences. Don't use the word very when you're writing. So you're talking about guilt, and you bring up the guilt he feels after he kills Duncan. I saw the blood on his hand. I think this is a great line. You got some space issues here. You got a period that needs to go there. You got some space issues here. This is a wrong use of semicolon. And he was racked with guilt because Duncan was such a loyal friend. Don't need a quote there. So what we don't have yet is we don't have how the symptom led to his downfall. You haven't analyzed on your own. You've given plenty of examples, which is fine, but you haven't analyzed on your own how it leads to his downfall. Also, you need a transitional statement that goes on to the next paragraph. Oh, how did that get down there? So you need to actually backspace until you get back up to here. I don't know why that is on the second paragraph there. Macbeth's guilt drove him mad and wasn't able to sleep, and he wasn't able to sleep. And here's a comma splice. You got two complete sentences in here. And again, these are good examples, but they're just plot. It doesn't do anything to kind of analyze what you are trying to prove in the paper. All right, Maddie. I have no idea what this paragraph is about as far as symptom-wise. I just know that you're talking about seeing Banquo's ghost and him becoming suspicious of Macduff and having him killed, but you haven't brought up what symptom it is. You don't have any outside sources, either in the last paragraph or this one, to help explain the symptom. So I really don't know. I think it's about being afraid of someone then, because you bring that up a little bit. So you definitely need to have some context to this paragraph. You have some run-on sentences in here. This is a run-on sentence. This is a run-on sentence. You have way too many sentences in here. this is a run-on sentence, so you're definitely going to want to look at breaking those sentences up. So no transition again to kind of guide the reader where you're going to go. And then you go on to talk, and this is why it's a little convoluted, Maddie. Now you're jumping from Banquo and Macduff to back to Duncan, and he kind of freaks out. He pretty much freaked out right there. So run-on sentence here. Again, I don't know what the symptom is. You haven't made it clear so far in the paragraph. You do get eventually to PTSD may have caused Macbeth to have misinterpreted the three witches' prophecies. But how? What is the symptom? So you talk about severe anxiety, but that's not really what the paragraph is about up until this point. This is just about seeing the daggers, which I would think you were talking about hallucination. Oh no, sorry, not even seeing the daggers in this paragraph. This is about taking the daggers back. Is it anxiety on... I don't know. I'm not exactly sure where you're going with it. And maybe there's some anxiety with the witches' prophecies, but I would want some proof from the story to back that up. I don't know how the anxiety and the witches' prophecies go together, so you definitely want to fix that and have that streamlined too. All right, so now we get to your conclusion, which of course you haven't reached the 3-page limit here yet. But this is your thesis statement, which is not a great thesis statement, but at least it's better than the one in the beginning of the paper. So apparently your main points, I think you go through. So guilt, sleep, and his state of well-being disappeared. I'm not exactly sure what that means. These seem to be what you think your 3 main points are, but I don't really see the sleep one and the state of well-being one. I'm not exactly sure how that relates to the your body paragraphs. I mean, I get the guilt one. You definitely talked about guilt. The rest of this, which I'm sure you were just padding because you're run out of room, is just a summary of the play, which I don't need. I need a summary of your main points and how they're important to the symptoms and what was going on. You have, weird things missing here. You have sentence fragments. You have too many spaces in sentences. I don't know. So you get to the end, your last statement, Macbeth was good at eliminating any threats that got in his way to power. Yes, but he was really terrible at eliminating Fleance and Macduff and Malcolm. So I'm not sure if that sentence really stands well on its own. This is not even close to what a works cited page was. I don't know if you were here the day that we went over them. That was the Friday before the papers were due. But this is certainly not what you need in your paper. So we got lots of things to work on, Maddie. Please come talk to me if you need help on this. Follow the order of operation on your rubric and on your assignment to make sure you have all the elements. And I'm looking forward to a rewrite from you.